Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Alex, if you're new. Today, I'm gonna be showing you summer bronzy makeup for pale skin, super pale skin. I probably don't look as pale on camera, but I feel like it should be pretty obvious when I try on certain colors, like certain colors of lipstick or certain bronzers, or I don't know, I feel like mostly it's lip colors. It looks so saturated on my skin, which is something that we have to think about if we're very, very, very pale, okay? It is possible to look bronzy. It's really about choosing the correct tones and amounts of product. So we're also gonna be using all drugstore products, which is always a bonus, right? So the first thing that I'm gonna start off with, because if we're thinking about summer, if we're thinking about bronze, you don't wanna forget about sunscreen, okay? That is my priority. In fact, my makeup, I feel, has suffered throughout this journey of trying to find the best sunscreen. This is a really good sunscreen. It's SPF 30, it's mineral, it's Neutrogena, it's tinted. They have like various shades, which is nice as well. This is light. It is a bit pink for my skin tone, but I do like it as a foundation replacement. So that's what I'm going to start off with. Besides this, I just have like my regular Avène moisturizer that I applied early this morning when I washed my face. So you do want to keep in mind that you are applying enough sunscreen. I'm going to start off in small sections. This is also a very like moisturizing formula. So I'm going to start off with my forehead. You can see it looks a little light. It does have a tint, and I'm going to make you bronzy, so don't even worry if you're using a sunscreen that has like too much zinc or titanium or whatever the hell it is. I'm gonna stop this at my chin because I'm going to use a chemical sunscreen for the rest of my ears and neck and all that stuff, so I don't have to worry about transfer to my white top. Okay, so it adds a little bit of a tint, nothing too crazy, but for summertime and like bronzy skin, I really like that. Just like a nice sheer coverage that's comfortable. I am gonna look a little bit oily for a minute. I'm gonna wait 15 minutes before I apply the rest of my 15 minutes before I start applying the rest of my makeup, or any of my makeup, so that my sunscreen has time to set, so that it's not interfering with the efficacy of my sunscreen. So please hold. I gotta wash my hands. It's all over my hands. Okay, you can see when we first applied, really oily. It's gone away for the most part. I just have kind of like a nice healthy glow to my skin. I'm gonna start off by color correcting underneath my eyes with my trusty LA Girl Pro Conceal. If you don't have dark circles, don't worry about it. Just like to warm up that area. Especially if you're going for bronze, then you definitely don't want any part of your face to look too light or gray, you know? Definitely want to avoid that gray cast. Now since I use it? Bro, where are you right now? Get it together. Since I used a tinted sunscreen, I'm not gonna cover my face in foundation. I also just want it to be comfortable. When I am wearing sunscreen, which is always, I like to kind of like minimize the amount of products on my face in general. So I'm going to do a little bit of spot concealing using the Bear With Me Serum Concealer from NYX. This is in the shade Fair. I'm just gonna put a little bit of this on the back of my hand. I'm gonna use a little concealer brush just to kind of place this in areas where I have some redness. It's a little light actually. JK, I'm gonna use light. I don't know why I used fair. I guess I'll keep fair on my hand. Yeah, light is a little closer to my skin tone. You can see the difference right there. Light is a little bit closer to my skin tone. I might mix a little. So this is just going to be in areas where I need a little coverage. My nose is a little red. It's usually the center of my face. Center of the forehead. Down the nose. Just gonna blend in here a little bit. Ziva, always, why always, why always? And conceal underneath my eyes. So just over that color corrector. You can see I'm not highlighting, really. I'm using, I guess this is like, I've kind of just been mixing these back and forth to to create a custom color, and this concealer shade is a little bit lighter than my natural skin tone, but only by like a little bit. I'm not trying to like highlight my face right now. Sometimes if you highlight too much, you just look too sculpted, and I don't think that's what a bronze look really is about. So just patting that all into all those dark little, it's like as soon as I start talking, all those dark little crevices, blending out. Nice even tone. So I'm gonna prime my eyelids with my e.l.f. Sheer Eye Primer before I set with any powders. I just like to do this before powder so that I can like bring a little powder on the outer part and the inner part of my eye. Now I want the bronzy color to be the focus, not the contour color, but I do want to do a little bit of sculpting. So I'm going to start off with the Halo Glow Beauty Wand from e.l.f. This is in light, is it light medium? Light medium? Yeah, I guess. You can see the difference between fair light. Fair light is the color that I'm going to use to contour, but light medium is much warmer. And these are pretty pigmented, so don't like apply too much. You really just need some like little dabs, basically. A little bit goes a long way. So I'm just gonna do a little to my forehead, a little up on the top of my cheekbone, do a little bit on my nose, and then I'm gonna put a little bit right here. And I'm gonna blend that out first. So this is actually the opposite order that I typically do it in, because I like to kind of like build on top of the sculpt, which would be my contour. But if you're going for something bronzy, then you want that bronze warm color to be your focus. It's obviously going to depend on your skin tone. I'll link all of my favorite bronzers down below for pale skin. Because if you use something that is way too warm toned, you're just gonna end up looking orange, like super orange. And this is not all of the bronzer. You know me, I like thin layers. We are gonna be going on with a powder to set this a little bit later. For my contour, I'm gonna do the same thing. Little dots, just little bits to add a little bit of sculpt, but trying not to add too much. That was way too fucking much. And this I'm focusing just in the sculpt areas. So I'm not gonna blend that out way too much because I just wanna like kick that cheekbone in a little bit. Lips and nose are optional. I do have in-depth videos about how and why I do this. And I usually put a little bit of contour on the outer part of my eye, but I'm gonna use bronzer this time. Okay, I'm gonna go back to a really trusty product that I haven't used in a really long time. This is the Milani Cheek Kiss blush in Cherry Issue. It's a 150. If you don't like these kind of like coral or peachy tones, then going with something which I actually might use a little bit later on, something more like this. This is L'Oreal True Match in Subtle Sable. Something a little bit more like bronzy in color is just going to help add to that. And I might apply a little bit of that as well. I just really love, I'm thinking about going with like a hot orange lip. So I just wanna go in with like something kind of like hot on my cheeks first. So you know how everybody talks about like Mary Phillips and underpainting? Even though yes, I know like Kevin Aquan, I believe, was the person who like originally made it famous. She just like is the person people associate it with now, blah, 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 whatever. Details. This is my underpainting. I underpaint with liquids and then I set and finish everything with powder. So I'm gonna go in with powder now. I'm gonna use Fit Me 10. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm gonna use this to set my face, like the areas of my face. First, I'm gonna set my under eyes with, you already know, e.l.f. Halo Glow Powder. Favorite under eye setting powder. If you have kind of dry skin, or if your skin is a little bit more mature and you need something to set, but everything just looks like really heavy on you, then this is really worth checking out because it's got great pearl in it, but it's nice and fine. Just making sure that that's nice and blended. Just using the tiniest amount around my eyes. Now I'm gonna set the center of my face, just the center, with Maybelline Fit Me in 10. Bronziness. We're gonna go in with the Maybelline City Bronzer in 200. This is a beautiful, beautiful tone for someone who's looking for something that isn't going to be like too orange or red. Love this bronzer. It's got this really nice like olivey gold to it. If you compare to this one from Wet n Wild, this is Ticket to Brazil. Look at the difference. It's got a lot more like of an olivey gold green kind of tone, whereas this has like more orange, a little bit more orange. See that difference? It's like moving more towards a red tone, which can look crazy depending on your like undertone if you're pale. So I'm gonna use this to reinforce that bronze. Again, just like little light amounts. Gonna pick that up, tap it off, and then dust it to set those creams or liquids or whatever you want to call them. I'm gonna take that onto my cheeks, over that blush a little bit, and around the outer perimeter of my face, along my jaw. Now, one key trick to this is if you're going in with a little extra bronzer, you can see we're really like bronzing up the outer perimeter of the face and your neck ends up looking a little too pale. You don't have to put it all over your neck, just taking it down the contours of your neck, just like what we are doing with the face essentially. Just like, I like to take it down these lines a little bit. Just helps make your neck look a little bit more like part of that color. So it's not, you know, you don't have this bronzy face and then this like pale ass neck. And with my eyes, I'm doing the same thing, just taking whatever's left over, buffing that on the outer part of my eye. And then a little bit over that contour of my nose. Already looking bronzy, right? For someone who's real pale. All right, for my eyebrows, this is super random. I'm gonna use the gray pencil from NYX, which is like very gray, but that's just because I'm gonna go in with a warmer color on top. So I'm just gonna sketch this out. Sketch out the shape with gray. We'll come back to the brows. I just want to get those on before I started my eyes. I'm gonna use the NYX Jumbo Pencil, eye pencil in Iced Mocha, which is kind of the perfect tone, especially for someone who's very pale, because you can kind of see it actually has a little bit of silver in it. So compared to like this color from Hard Candy, you know, like Hard Candy is very, very orange. So depending on like how pale you are, this could end up looking like very jarring on your skin. But this is like a really nice, natural kind of bronzy tone. Draw this all over the lid. Taking it up to the crease. Kind of blend it out. See how nice that color is? Oh, it's so nice. I'm just gonna pat it out with my finger. Just wanna create like kind of a natural smoky eye look. I'm just gonna take that on my lower lash line, close to the lashes, and just kind of like do the same thing. Using my ring finger, I'm just really gently blending that. I want this shit to be easy, you know? I've already spent so much time on our face. I don't got time for the eyes, you know what I'm saying? What you can also do, just set with a little bit of like a powder that is a little bit lighter, maybe a little bit more warm. I think I'm gonna use this just to warm it up ever so slightly. This is the LA Girl, the Nudist palette. Use this shade right here. I'm just gonna pick that up on my finger. I'm gonna pat it in the center. mostly on the lid, but bringing it into my crease. And you can see that just added like a nice amount of like a little bit of warmth without being too warm. So it just kind of depends how warm you want to go. You know your skin tone better than other people and your preferences. I'm gonna do that just on the top. Sometimes if you take it like down onto the lower lash line, it can end up looking like an eye infection, which I'm down for, but a lot of people don't like. Just an extra step, because why not? We're going for bronze tones. I'm gonna use this Hard Candy Stroke of Gorgeous color liquid eyeliner. This one is in the shade, oh, does it have a shade? What the fuck? It doesn't have a shade name, but it's the bronzy one. I don't know, it looks like this. Is that helpful? Is that helpful? Hard Candy? Does that look bronze? You can't really tell. I don't know, the lights are messing it up. Anyway, you'll see it when it goes on. I'm just gonna put like a little tiny wing, a little bronzy wing, the outer corner of my eyes. It's got like a little bit of reflect in it, a little glitter. And then for the inner corner, I'm just gonna do a little guy right here underneath. Do I like that? Fade it into the lash line. Okay, now I'm going rogue. I'm going rogue. I don't know. I'm going rogue. Is this a bronzy tutorial anymore, or are we just like experimenting? I feel like we're just experimenting. What are you doing right now? Just stop. Okay, stop. Just stop. All right, I'm gonna stop. Fuck. Okay, for highlighter, I'm going to use Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighter in Golden Flower Crown, which can be a little bit dark if placed in the wrong areas. So rather than having it super focused on my whole, rather than having it super focused in like areas, like applying a ton of it, I'm gonna use a very small amount and dust it around the high points of the face. So using a more golden highlighter can be really nice, but again, you have to be careful based on your skin tone. Like, is this color gonna work? Is it gonna look too orangey? So just make sure you're using a very light hand, you're dusting a small amount, and you're keeping it more loose, more general. I'm just gonna dust a little bit of that on my nose. All right, I'm gonna set my brows using my Pears soap, as always. You can get this in any drugstore, so it counts. What am I gonna do? Oh. I'm gonna curl my lashes with the Wet n Wild Lash Curler. Uh-oh, what drugstore lash mascara? So typically, I would use my CoverGirl Lash Blast Waterproof Mascara, but it's sealed shut. I don't know, I think I dealt with that on camera in another video. It's sealed shut and I couldn't get it open. So I'm gonna use the Maybelline Sky High Sensational Waterproof whatever. It's in the shade, it's like brown black or something. Yeah, brownish black. It's like you could just use black mascara, but I don't know. With bronzy tones, I think it's kind of nice. All right, and now to finish off my brows, I'm gonna use Taupe from NYX. I'm gonna run this all through my brow hairs, obviously focusing on the areas that just need a little more. But I wanna make sure that that gray isn't overpowering the warmth. Dude, my brows are fire today. Love that combo. Look at those freaking hairs, dude. All right, and finally, me personally, a bronzy look. I love like a hot orange lip. So I don't know what liner I'm gonna use yet because I don't know if I have a drugstore version, but for my lip color, I'm going to use Revlon, what the hell is this called? On Fire lipstick. Like, does this say summer or does this say summer? It says summer, if you were wondering. But I'm probably gonna cheat with my lip liner because I don't think I have a lip liner that matches. So for my lip liner, I'll use About Face. About Face is like relatively affordable, but if you can find like a drugstore red lip liner, I like to use something a little darker to line my lips to begin with. Can you see how this lip is longer this way than this one? This one comes up a little higher, but it's shorter, and it drives me insane. It makes it so hard. Like, trying to even them out is so difficult. They never look. They never look. They never look. Fuck yeah. Love that color. Dude, I've been wanting to wear this lip for such a long time. I was like, I haven't worn a red lip in a really long time. Okay, this is the finished look. How do we feel? What do we think? I think we succeeded in creating a bronzy effect to very pale skin without making ourselves look orange, right? I think my skin looks like healthy, it looks glowy, it looks bronzy, but when I have my hand next to my face, it's not like she's a completely different color. You know what I mean? It's all about those tones. You don't want to go too orange. You might look at something and be like, that's bronze. But then when you put it on your skin, it just looks orange. You end up looking like an Oompa Loompa. We don't want that, right? So go for something a little bit more cool toned. You gotta do some swatches. You don't necessarily know until you put it on your face though. So try to just keep those things in mind. What did we accomplish? We protected our skin. We made ourselves look bronzy without looking orange. We added some fun stuff to the eyes that was so like random, but you know, we went rogue for a second. We used all drugstore brands. Hot Fire brows. I bet you thought I was gonna say lips. Brows are hot fire right now. Lips also hot fire. I look good, I feel good. I'm ready for my urgent care appointment later today for a potential middle ear infection. Actually, I really fucking love it. These are the tones that I love so much. They just always look good on me. I don't know why I fight them. Okay, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what, I don't know, what else you want to see. Is there more drugstore content that you want to see? I love it when you guys recommend your drugstore faves to me because I immediately go and buy them. So any of your recommendations, highly requested from me. Yeah, that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. I gotta get a new CoverGirl Lash Blast mascara.